bench for Season 15. Let's head into the land of Dawn for Game 2 between Todak and Team Ray. Same size for both teams, Todak on blue, Team Ray on red.
As we get into this, let's see the setup. Purple buff starts on both sides for Duskk as well as Zaed. I really want to see whether Zaed can out-retry Duskk now that he has Yishin Shin. It's a little easier to do, but at the same time, if Duskk is able to outplay him, turn that 50-50 into 100% with a single energy eruption, that could be the difference maker for these fights.
With how he won the retry wars in Game 1, that is a big morale boost too. I believe in Dusk's confidence, but I am seeing it Todak right now, right? We talked about the potential switch up. You get mid priority for a mid hero that struggles to clear wave, and then you walk together. That's what Dreams is helping Zayyy do. But unlike Game 1, there's not going to be any early invades like what we saw from Zayyy on the Baxia. Now with NovaXcobar being there as well, it does make the life of Zakqt a lot more manageable into Dreams and Zayyy.
Yeah, this lane, it's really, really hard to deal with. Considering that Dreams can honestly just one-shot the wave, I'm surprised that they're actually focusing on going for the trade, really. Because again, NovaXcobar, he's very mobile. It's difficult for Dreams to not only catch him, because the only way they lose that trade is if ZAIMSEMPOI gets enough of those butterfly stacks to hurt him. Dreams going up to the top side, trying to get some pressure, especially for that river crab. We all know how gold laners love that crab.
Oh, I love money. Love me some extra cash. Trinity build heroes. Definitely want to get that, but then pressure on the Zayyy. Whoa, boy.
Big damage. Very, very big damage. Just goes to show how deadly the CC is in this particular game between these strong teams. And Fawndeer, okay, they're going for the same rotation where they send Fawndeer down over into the mid lane first. Get some pressure there because he's very close to hitting level 4. But now we also see that on the bottom side, the NovaXcobar and as well as Dur trying to hard shove the lane as fast as possible and putting the brass tacks onto this Lapu Lapu.
Yeah, Fawndeer is still the part of Purify. The ball connects on the NovaXcobar. They're gonna knock on the Dreams, but Dur is out of position. Most likely a first blood lifted up, and first blood for ZAIMSEMPOI. The appraisal's right from Duskk, not enough. Zakqt needs to provide assistance, but it's insufficient. Todak finds 2.
Beautiful play coming in from Todak's side. A convincing 2-0 lead, and now the very first turtle in their hands. They prioritize Duskk again. Just goes to show. Oh, Dreams, he's in trouble. Somebody help him. He's dead.
The turtle! It's gonna kill him! The red trick comes through. SOD does end up missing another Purify 4-star. This time, ZAIMSEMPOI loses his.
Yeah, when you think Team Ray is going to completely give it up, they somehow sneak one in. A bit sad for Dreams, but even so, he still hits level 4 on time. Doesn't lose much pressure from this, and will be able to cover the top side in the meantime.
I mean, if Joe landed the SOD, that could have been a lot different.
That could have been so much worse.
He would have taken it 100%.
Oh, if not for the kills, at least a fast way to walk into lane. Either way, Lolealz focused on his farm. Same goes for Joma at this point. Now, really, it's the battle of the supports, right? Dreams is trying to do somewhat the exact same thing as NovaXcobar. Be that living ward, open that map, gain that vision. But the hard part right now is the fact that NovaXcobar is just that much faster than Dreams, and also taking the Wilderness Blessing to keep up with Dreams, even though he basically one-shots the wave.
Yeah. And a player of NovaXcobar's caliber, his tendencies, right? He loves to fight. And he's really sharp at it. Give him Tigreal, give him Cho, give him any kind of roamer that has an ability to start a fight, he's gonna take it. And I think that's kind of where that minor gap is between him and Dreams, right? He's just a lot more decisive on these calls.
Yeah, extremely decisive. Now with the turtle boat already active, they know exactly where everybody is going to be. Zayd doesn't really want to take this fight, but he does want that the EXP crab at the end of the day. On the opposite end, we do see that Dreams and as well as ZAIMSEMPOI, their plan to move to the gold lane already thwarted as NovaXcobar has revealed the map, allowing Joman to make some good decisions to not push up. DHS purchase coming in from Lolealz. 9 more seconds until that purple buff is back up.
Unlike Game 1, Fawndeer has a way better time in the XP lane, dealing with Dur. It's just a matchup. But still, I think with this turtle spawning, Team Ray, I feel like they might consider giving it another go. Right? Trying to contest Todak here. Maybe Duskk can win this retry fight. They are at the same level. Crimson Beacon is stolen too. A bit of a taunt of the Zakqt. Easily retreats with the dash. Todak on the case. Fawndeer again chunking Dur down low.
Yeah, I don't think they can do this anymore because it's all dependent on Dur. As they get into the fight, it begins. Revitalize out.
And they're gonna control Duskk. Dur still jumps in with the full commitment. There's gonna be a terrified there. The Gacha out goes off. SOD connects from Joem, but is he gonna take it though?
What?
Still gets the turtle. ZAIMSEMPOI once Nova couldn't find it, and Joem saves his mid laner and support.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Lolealz is gonna get back out there. Zaed, huh? What happened? How did Duskk steal that away? Zayd still had his rail. What? We need to see an instant replay of that because I definitely think that Zayd, he looked at it and was like, okay, not gonna go for the neutral. I want to get those kills. I want to get those big money shots. And Duskk at the edge of that retry range, still able to make it happen.
ZAIMSEMPOI still has Purify. They're gonna try and force it out, but with Dreams around, Zayn feels safe. You see the Enchanted Talisman for Fawndeer. Lolealz going for a recall. And Fawndeer just trying to really make Dur's life hard. And even then, Dur still commits, right? Willing to throw his body.
Yeah, it's not as much of an easy game as it was for him previously against the Phoveus. You don't really have to interact with the Phoveus as much, but against Fawndeer, he's making sure that he is not only taking the pressure, but he's making sure that Dur walks away from that lane less than 50% of his life.
That's 2 turtle fights back to back. That Dur had to fight for an objective with less than 50% health.
If we know anything about Lapu Lapu, he really depends on having a healthy bar before jumping in. Because again, the damage reduction only applies once you go in with the Bravest Fighter and then finally go into the S2. Even so, early invade here. Oh, okay, Dreams might be in some trouble.
Does have the AOG and Revitalize 2. Not too big of a deal. The top tier 1 is the target. Todak will get the structure. 2.2k goal lead, 20 seconds until the next turtle spawns.
Rather surprised that Fawndeer didn't bother trying to walk up. They've already revealed 2. They know that the Moskov is in lane. Everybody was visible other than Zakqt, who was hovering around the mid lane. So, see that the majority of the lead actually falling into the hands of Zayd here. This time, he's not going to let his momentum be slowed down. And more so, he doesn't really want to interact with Team Ray. He actually just wants to purely focus on that farm because once he's scaled, he becomes an absolute monster in the late game.
Auto Shocker is out. Zakqt getting ran at. Fawndeer commits, gets taunted up, and Dur will turn it around. Wow, the Jit couldn't know NovaXcobar. The kick on the Zayd. AOG committed from Dreams, doesn't connect onto anyone. Lolealz in the fight though. Max stack of the Art of Thievery. He can anytime he's won. Dur escapes, and Zakqt peels back. ZAIMSEMPOI no mana for the lift. Somehow Team Ray fully disengaged.
Really great disruption on both sides, but this entire time Team Ray was a man down. Cost efficiency as Joem is able to secure the top tier 1, allowing Zayd to quickly try and take away this turtle. The rest of the team is going to zone them away. This turtle will fall into the hands of Todak.
It's another case of if only Joem landed and care and follow the SOD.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay.
Still want to fight this. Dur says yes. Doesn't hit the stun. Auto Shocker used 2. Forcing Todak back.
All right, they move back. Now, the disruption coming in from Team Ray was great. Todak, I would argue, just maybe a tad bit better because NovaXcobar didn't exactly find the perfect angle for the way of the dragon. If he's able to kick somebody back into his team, that would have been ideal, but the peel was necessary to keep as many people alive. Now we look at the items so far. Trinity build's very close to being completed here. A bit of a change though. We do see that Lolealz actually does have a bit of a gold lead on top of Joem. Already with the DHS, the Corrosive Scythe almost to that Golden Staff. In comparison to Joem, Corrosive Scythe into Golden Staff. He's got a lot of slow, not as much sustain.
And we did discuss a little bit about Team Ray's DNA and how people like NovaXcobar and Dur are very decisive on the trigger fingers, same as Joem. We're not only looking at 4 flickers, but also how they utilize those flickers. In fact, the Mountain Shocker was used early on from Zayd to pressure Joem a little bit. And majority of the goal lead Todak has is in that jungle matchup.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's already netted him some pretty important kills in this game. Fawndeer already with the Brute Force Breastplate. Very necessary considering the amount of CC or even just small CCs being thrown out by Team Ray. Whether it be the Terrify, the Knock Up, even just Taunt. Gotta be careful here. Because at this point, this first Lord is going to be a make it or break it. Sky Piercer for the side of ZAIMSEMPOI.
Okay. I mean, they have high damage profile, so a finisher doesn't make sense. Compared to Team Ray, the hit from Game 1, Team Ray definitely have a lower damage output overall. It's not like they have a big burst like the Farsa, right? This time it's just the Valentina. Yeah. So a lot of that is going to be on Joem and Dur's shoulders. And the fight feels a lot more drawn out because of that.
Yeah, it really helps that Fawndeer is doing a lot of work on this Esmeralda, getting some pretty huge chunks of sustaining throughout the majority of that fight, even though sometimes the Falling Star Moon doesn't necessarily connect on the correct targets or even multiple targets for that matter. Even so, the macro coming up from TR to try and keep them in this game. They're going to try and apply as much poke as possible, but eventually they're going to get outranged when ZAIMSEMPOI gets there.
As much as Duskk has been good on the Retribution, he's 2 levels down. Mountain Shot go use Dirt to the back line, gets taunted up by the port instantly, still commit, they find a kick! Oh my goodness, NovaXcobar! They somehow take out Zaed, SOD connects and Joe, he goes in for the fight, flickers to safety, out of range, does! Right on the money, once more, and Team Ray now turning around, brings us back connect, another taunt, another kick, how is Team Ray getting away with this?
Why are they winning these fights? Why are they winning these fights in this matter? A huge double kill coming up from Duskk, a huge play coming out from Joe, an amazing turnaround with the help of NovaXcobar. Todak, they had their priorities split in multiple different directions and they could not decide what was more important.
Another situation where Todak's goalie completely vaporized. I mean, Dirt, really, he just full on the gas.
Yeah.
Went straight for Zayyy and Nova was like, I got you. And only Dirt went down. Nova gets gone on, but not a problem. Duskk is there to help keep the Lord a bit healthy, but thankfully Todak be able to stop this push before it got to the base.
I think right now it puts into question Todak's awareness. Just teamfight awareness. Joam now going even against Lolealz in that lane. He came out, Lolealz came out with a gold lead, but Joam comes out with a victory. And these fights have been so very, very close. For all intents and purposes, Team Ray, by all means, should have lost that fight. But Joel, I'm very confident. Let's look at the instant replay one more time, right? Because as we see Dirt get absolutely blasted, look at the number of ults that were committed onto him. ZAIMSEMPOI, Zaed even throwing the turtle bow, even the Claude utilizing the blazing duet on one guy. It doesn't make sense why they would commit so hard onto Dirt when they get more value by killing Duskk.
Yeah, I mean, it does hung on forever. Play armor now up for him. Oof. Good luck to Lolealz. But the good news is they didn't lose an inhib this time.
Well, that is true. They did not lose an inhib, but they honestly should have had a bigger gold lead by now. The fact that TR is in the lead with the composition that they had is very impressive. It really goes to show that their awareness in the middle of these team fights is just a little bit better than Todak's. At this point, slight lead. 700, 800, it's pretty negligible at this point. But Todak, how did they start playing the map? Because it's pretty uncontestable, especially against Joam, right?
Yeah.
Somebody must defend against him, and even moving around the map can be a little bit dangerous because they know that TR, at this stage of the game, recognize that we don't have a lot of damage to work with, therefore, we have to be very good with our target priority.
And once more, just to remind everyone, Duskk, well, I don't want to say he won the retreat battle because Zayyy wasn't there, but he was 2 levels down.
He was 2 levels down, yeah?
And he's about to hit 15. Then level the playing field in just a little bit.
That entire lead is going to dissipate. Zayd, he really needs that 3rd item. He needs a 3rd item finish as soon as possible. Look to get his 4th because he will scale very, very well. The question is, what do you go for in this stage, right? Endless Battle feels like a very good item, no doubts about it, especially when you've already got the Hunter Strike alongside with the War Axe. But I think at this point, he does not only need armor penetration, but some form of mobility. He needs the extra movement speed.
My pop games will just tell you to go Sky Pierce.
That's probably, I mean, to be fair, if Zayd was like, I don't know, 5 and 0, I would say, yeah, sure, why not, right? Yeah. But in this case, these fights are lasting way too long and... hold on. The Nova might have an angle here.
And the Lord not fully reset. Nova, if he pulls the trigger, it gotta be now. Dirt commits the ultimate. They turn on the Dreams. The Lord gets reset. The Dreams gonna get control to Oblivion. Smackdown by Duskk. And again, Todak, they just don't know what the plan is. SOD, here comes Joe, baby. There's nothing you can do against this man. Welcome back to MPL MY, buddy. It is a wipeout, or close to one, and he's about to be. Dirt on the case, flicker forward, right out for Todak.
Wiped out, coming in with the help of Team Ray. Joam, big plays, but dear God, what was the indecision coming in from Todak? Why didn't Fawndeer use the falling goddamn Star Moon? He needed to get that in. If Dreams or Fawndeer gets picked off like that, commit the damn